Welcome to Driving Immersion for the Immersive Racing Experience. Up ahead, a full simulation race at the Bahrain International Circuit.
Formation lap has started.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more racing. Thanks for watching. And once again, we are driving in the GR010, number 8. And this car is the version WEC instead of the Le Mans version. The difference is that it's capable of more downforce. And we're actually starting in 4th place, so that's a very good qualifying position. See up ahead the safety car as we round turn 2 and 3. And we dive down this short straight into turn 4, which is a very sharp right-hander. And we're going to bring the car down to 2nd gear, touch the curb on the right a little bit, and touch the curb here on the left upon exit. Turn 5 here, just on your left. You can see the bollard there to mark the apex. Turn 6 to the right. Turn 7, 3rd gear to the left. Bring that up to 4th gear before you slam on the brakes again. And bring it down to 1st gear. For turn 8. Uphill a little bit, and we are going to stay on the throttle until we see this white line that we just crossed, and that is going to be an indicator to brake down into turn 10, which is a very sharp left-hander. Touch the curb on the inside and on the outside upon exit. Going through another short straight. This is a DRS zone in the Formula 1 series. See here that in 1st place is Mike Conway in the number 7 Toyota. We have an Alpine and a Lamborghini in between, and that is Lapierre, and I believe that is Bartoletti, sorry. So we rounded turn 13, another straight here that's going to take us in turn 14 and 15. And at this point in the formation lap, the car is actually free to run, so you got to maintain your speed. And in fact, the speed warning will come on. And if you're not paying attention, you may be penalized with a stop and go. Actually happens quite frequently, so when you're in the cockpit view, you can actually see the speed limit. It's giving us a direction that we are out of line and we should catch up. Again, very near the front as we are starting in 4th. There is the safety car. At this point, we have the speed limiter on, as we are limited to 37 miles an hour.
Green flag, green flag.
Still very close, everybody going into turn 1. Very far on the inside. And we get by the number 7 and the Alpine. So right away we are in 4th place already, and for this race we're actually starting with a full tank of fuel. And we'll adjust the strategy as the race progresses. Turn 9. Braking into turn 10, you can see here that we've overdone it. Riding with the Alpine just underneath our wing. Very tricky to the exit on turn 11. As we accelerate out, there's not a lot of grip as it's falling away. Through turn 13, the Alpine is in first place. Coming around to the main straight to complete lap 1. The number 8 is in second place with Nicolas Lapierre. Very advantageous dive into turn 1, and we get the Alpine. There's the rest of the field. You can see there's a couple of Ferraris and a Lamborghini. Very slow turn 8 to the right. Again, accelerate uphill, fighting for grip. Alpine sure does sound nice. Coming out of turn 13, the number 7 Toyota is right by our side. And Mike Conway is going to give way. Down the main straight to finish lap 2. The number 8 Toyota is in first place again. From the cockpit of the number 7 Toyota with Mike Conway, you see here that he goes all the way to the left coming out of turn 4. Turn 7. Very slow turn 8. Gonna bring that down to first gear. And probably one of the most difficult corners. Turn 9 and turn 10. So we have the field stretched out quite a bit. AI difficulty is at 95. So end of lap 3, we have a 151 lap. And for right now, with Le Mans Ultimate, during the practice sessions, you'll find that you're several seconds behind the faster cars. But once you start qualifying and come into the race, you're very easily up there with their times, or equal to their times. And I don't know if that's a matter of having a full load of fuel during the practice sessions. We have run laps with very little fuel, but again, the closest we could come is probably about 3 to 3.5 seconds. Through turn 9, braking hard into turn 10. Many ways to mess up this corner. Riding again with Mike Conway, you can see the number 8 placement on the track is actually pretty good, so the number 8 is doing well. So again, for this race, the time is sped up to 3 times, so we will be racing into the night. And right now it is kind of early to mid-afternoon. And this is a 2-hour race, so we are testing the fuel usage as well as the tires again. And for this race, I believe we are starting with a hard left front tire, as it is going to be heated and cooled quite frequently, being a clockwise track. We've also got about 1.75 to 2 pounds more air in that tire so that it can keep cool longer and lessen its degradation. So the race is still on. You can see here that the number 7 is still behind that number 8, again with an Alpine right behind. And with the introduction of the Alpine,
okay, so we are able to stay in front. Very good pace. Now we just flip this car. They need to go any faster than this.
yes, with the introduction of the Alpine, it's actually a very capable car, other than looking good and sounding good. Expect the Ferrari to be a little bit closer to the front, and
150.98.
the other Porsches to be challenging for the lead. We do again have the difficulty set up to 95. And we did increase the closeness of the field, or the other cars, as far as talent. Believe it's up to 75 now instead of just 60, again, so that we can create closer racing. It's nice that we're able to adjust it, but in real life a lot of the cars are further away as far as ability from each other, so there's a great variance in lap times and speed. But it makes for a boring race when there's only 1 or 2 cars in the front of the field and everybody else is in the background. So we still have several cars in tow. One little slip or off of the track, and we will lose certainly first place, but we may be pulled back to 4th or 5th place very easily. And you can see here that the number 7's got a good run into turn 14. Nope.
Lap 150.62.
So another good lap at 150, and we are going to try to target 150 or 151 for the race. And that will give us an indication of how fast or how slow we're going. So there on the higher part of the dash, you can see the green LEDs blinking or lighting, and that indicates the traction control working. Still a very close race here at the front. No room for steps. And this is our second full race, and Mike Conway is usually up at the front with the Toyota. Very difficult challenger. So it's nice to see the Alpine up here. Again, it would be nice to vary these cars with the Porsches and the Ferraris as well. I believe when the Lamborghini came out with the update, it was actually a very fast car challenging for the lead.
Get back. I'm my ultimate. Describe that one.
Now the number 7 did tap the number 8. Very close spin. But we are staying ahead.
Good consistent snap here.
14 and 15. We round again to finish another lap.
Time 150.39.
Still lapping in the 150s, so doing well so far. Very wide on the exit. You can see the Alpine in our rear view mirror closer than before.
That time was a 151.20.
Still a relatively fast lap. As we are rounding through the GT3s or GTEs. Riding along with the number 7, racing with the Alpine.
Going through the GTEs just fine. Are still into shape. You hear that we are 2.5 seconds behind in this lap. We are being slowed down by the GTEs. However, the rest of the field
Lap 152.85.
feeling the same thing. The Ferrari there at the blue flag. As we're trying to come around. Right off the wheel there. Try to turn the steering wheel a little bit more. was actually the slow way to get around that Porsche, as I had to stay off the throttle. In order to make the turn.
Lap 152.30.
Let's get a lay of the land as we are looking at the steering wheel on the lower portion of the LCD display. You can see the timing there. The purple number that you see on the very far right is our fastest lap, and our projected lap is the greenish blue on the left. The green numbers that you see in the lower middle
and
portion.
Tire wear is looking manageable right now.
Is our current timing. If it's red, we are behind. If it's green, we are ahead. And right now it's showing that we're about a tenth of a second behind. Coming in through turn 12.
See, we've got a purple sector there in the first sector.
And in the HUD, on the upper right of the screen, there is the timing for the lap. Again, we have a purple for the first sector, which means that it's the fastest for the race. Yellow means that we are behind.
Time
In sector 2 and sector 3, we are ahead, as it's green.
The brakes are starting to fade.
On the steering wheel, there are no indications for the brake temperature. And right here we are watching the race between the number 7 Toyota and the number 36 Alpine. Not too far behind a Ferrari.
You still have the Alpine lurking back there.
So looking back from the rear view mirror, we can see that we had a very good time driving through the GTEs, as the Alpine and the number 7 Toyota have been caught behind. Just coming into the screen here in the rear view mirror. Here they are racing. Again, there's no indicator for the brake temperatures on the steering wheel. However, if you turn on the HUD, you will see the temperatures there on the lower left of the screen. Also indicates the wear on the tires in percentage. And if you look at the
A little bit sooner, but the front left is getting hot.
temperature of the tires, you can see the front left is 171, the front right is 160. Again, as the front left is doing more of the work on a clockwise track. Back to the number 7 and 36, you can see that they're having a race of their own. Coming in through turn 10. That's how it looks above the air. Very sharp left-hander. And I believe that is the number 51 Ferrari just behind.
Time 151.36.
So we are lapping pretty well, within about a second of our fastest lap. And if you look in the distance, there is the second Alpine, far behind the Ferrari, just coming onto our screen on the long shots. There we are, with a Lamborghini in tow. We are looking at second, third, and fourth. Number 7, Mike Conway, gives a good look. Runs out of space, goes over the curb. And that is going to slow it up down just a little bit with the Ferrari getting closer. Another look on the inside. Into turn 4. Turn 5. Turn 6 to the right. That's 7. This is 8. And if you look as the cars approach the camera, the Toyota and the Alpine have been slowing themselves down with the racing against each other. Certainly the Ferrari is closer, but the other Alpine and the Lamborghini are getting closer, while the number 8 is disappearing.
Lap 151.17.
Again, very good laps here, very consistently within a second of our fastest lap. So on the right of the steering wheel, you can see the top number in yellow. That is the timing for the current lap. The number 12 and 15, that is the amount of electrical energy that we have available for this lap. And when we are below 20%, the color indicator turns red. There we are. Heavy braking, that'll bring us back to 25. And the color indicator turns green. And with the balance of power, the Toyota cannot use its electrical energy, which will include using the front tires, until it reaches 120 kilometers per hour or miles per hour. And that's why you see here that the electrical energy does not decrease until we reach 120 miles an hour. The parameters are different for the other teams. So again, another 150.
Lost half a second to the Toyota.
And here is the number 7 in tow. He's gotten past the Alpine now.
Time 150.81.
And placed himself in second place. Very wide exit out of turn 1. You can see here that we've lost time. About a quarter of a second. So it looks like Mike Conway is driving faster. He's definitely getting closer to the number 8 Toyota. But more importantly, he is dropping the number 36 Alpine, which is now simply out of sight. There we are. That's how close he is. Back to the number 8. And off into the distance, just coming over the crest, is the number 36 Alpine, with the Ferrari further behind.
That time was a 150.59.
So 150.59, and that is going to be just about a quarter of a second slower than our fastest lap, so doing well. Rounding again through the GT3s. For the number 7, coming around a couple of Astons. And looking down on the track, you can see the shadows are getting longer, so we are getting closer tonight. 7 does have his headlights on.
That time was a 150.94.
Back to the number 8, another 150. Now back to the steering wheel. We do have a display for the brake bias. That is adjusted on the fly. Watching the number 7 driving through the GTEs, following the number 8. He is now 2.7 seconds behind as a result.
Right now the car is doing well, and we're actually in a pretty good position here. But we have to preservation and preserve the car. 8-hour race. No damage.
On board with Mike Conway in the number 7 Toyota. Having a look at his right front fender, looks like there's some scuffing, and that is an indicator that there is damage to it. Obviously, if he's not going to come in, the car is still drivable. So we'll continue to watch to see if he does come in. That will indicate if he's having a problem with the car. Now he is slowing down. He's 5 seconds behind now, and it may be due to the GTEs that he has to drive through. Having a look at the number 8's right front fender, there's no scuffing, so you can see it's not damaged. back to the steering wheel, you can see under the brake bias, you have the traction control parameters indicated, and we can adjust the traction control on the fly on the steering wheel. And just below that are the 4 numbers in the 4 corners.
50.92.
That is the tire temperatures in Celsius.
So right now we just programmed our first pit stop. It may be the only one.
So we have 23 laps in, and we are still under an hour for the race. And looking at the fuel, we're having to calculate how much we should put in, which is very important because when you come to the pits, you have to calculate actual fuel and actual virtual energy. But you can't actually control how much fuel you put in. And the way to do that is to adjust the fuel ratio that you see here on the left of the HUD. I believe right now we have it at 0.95, so that is pretty high. I think it goes as high as 1.1. And the higher the fuel ratio, the more actual gallons of fuel that they will put into the tank during the stop. You can see here that we changed it to 1. So we are looking for about 26.4 gallons to be added, and that's going to give us 29 laps. And right now that may or may not be enough, considering that in 45 minutes we've done 25 laps, so certainly that's not going to be enough. However, we can adjust the fuel consumption with the hybrid system or the electrical, I guess, energy use, and again we can adjust that on the fly. And that is indicated on the left of the steering wheel where it says HY map. Right now we have it set to 9, so I believe that may be 140 or 160 kilowatts that we are willing to spend per lap. So the more electrical energy we spend, the less fuel we're going to use, which will make the car more efficient. Very wide on the exit of turn 11. We had a very brief look at the back end of the number 8.
Very slow lap. Trying to figure out what we should do here with the fuel.
And there was a lot of scuffing. I believe that was from the beginning of the race when we were struck from behind by our teammate. So now we are looking at the HUD, and we have 4.3 gallons of fuel on the steering wheel. It only indicates
151.41.
liters, so you have to look at the HUD unless you can convert in your head. So we are looking at 0.96 fuel ratio that will give us 28 laps.
Actually got another stint with tires.
Still not going to be enough. So we are looking at
Let's just change the front left again.
possibly 2 more stops. Still trying to work with the fuel ratio here. We are changing our strategy. We're not going to change 3 tires. We're only going to change
Get
the
away
front
with
left.
just changing 1 tire in Fuji.
And we did get away with that at Fuji in Japan. The wear is still pretty good on the right front and 2 rear wheels. So now we have 3 gallons of fuel, 13 liters. So within a couple of laps here, we will have to come in. And it looks like we're going to go around again.
That time was a 151.04.
So Mike kind of way behind by about 5 seconds. Up here, 12 seconds in 3rd place. So still very much in the race along with this Ferrari and the 2nd Alpine. This is the number 1 Ferrari. So looking onto the steering wheel,
Lap 151.00.
we used 2.7 or 2.8 liters of fuel. That's still less than the gallon. Looking again at our pit strategy, we are looking to put in 100% virtual energy, and that is going to be good for 29 laps. And that may be enough if we can just squeeze out another couple of laps here. Looking at the other cars behind, you can see here that the Lamborghini and one of the Ferraris had stopped to come in, refuel and tires. Unfortunately, it does not show mechanics working on the cars, and you don't see if they are changing tires and which ones and so on, unlike Formula One. I look at the other cars behind to see who's still on track, the 7 and 8, along with a few Porsches and the Cadillacs. Looking at the tire wear on the lower left of the screen, the front left is at 72. The other tires are 79 and 81, and that's why we're only changing 1. And we are taking this opportunity to come in and
Time 156.42.
change that tire and refuel.
Oh, shit.
So you heard the engine rev up a little bit.
Making the speed of the plane.
We knew right away that we had actually deactivated the speed limiter and it doesn't show now, but once we exit the pits here, it will show that we were speeding in pit lane. So here we are getting a full tank of fuel, and we are getting 100% virtual energy. And we're going to try to stretch this out to the end of the race. The tire wear was still pretty good for the 3 corners, but for the front left, we're going to take this opportunity to change that and see if we'll make it to the end of the race, along with the other tires. Other cars coming in to pit. You can see the Ferraris. The colored lights that you see flashing, those are the Porsches. BMWs trying to get into their pit slot. Here is the number 7 Toyota of Mike Conway coming around. Looking at the timing, he is now ahead as he exits the pits. The number 8 still in. It's going to be a long pit stop for us as we are getting totally refueled. There we are.
Stop, go.
72 seconds. And if you look at the upper part of the screen, you can see there that indicated in red is that we have a stop and go penalty requiring us to come in. Watching Nicolas Lapierre in the number 36 Alpine, second place. We are now 15 seconds behind him as a result of our pit stop.
I just released the pit speed limiter while I was in the pit lane. And before I knew it, I was speeding. Alright, so
Lap 29 now, you can see full lights on, track lights are on, and it is getting darker. And I believe this would be similar to dusk.
wondering if I have to press the pit to signal them when I'm coming in, or I drive in.
So the big question now is that we have to come in for our stop and go, and we have 3 laps in order to do that. The big question is, in which of those 3 laps? I believe it may be the last one. So we're going to go around again.
Time more day through 30.62.
That is 1 lap. And the big question is, do we press the pit request button to come in, or do we just drive in? Thankfully, we don't have to refuel again, but if they take a few seconds to change the tire, that's about 7 seconds. And that will make our 10-second stop and go 17 seconds.
Just bring all these cars.
Turn 11, big bump there with the Aston Martin. Just a little over an hour to go. We are due for a stop and go. And I believe we are coming in this lap. We are not going to press the pit request button and see what happens. And hopefully this stop will address the stop and go penalty automatically. So if you know how that works, comment below. In our Factor 2, we just wait for the third lap to come in and address the stop and go. So right now, looking at the timer on the lower right hand of the screen, it should only be 10 seconds. There we go, we're free to go. That will take care of the stop and go penalty.
And race mate for us. We are in 12th place and then stop and go.
That is going to bring us into 13th place. So fortunately for us, now we have a relatively open track. That is the 12th place Porsche of Neil Johnny. Trying to get around, we overtook it through turn 8. Back from the number 99 Porsche. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn 1 is not going to cut it. And there, the deep dive into turn Again, we are stuck behind the number 99 in the infield. Very ill-advised dive into turn 8. Yeah, unfortunately, the number 8 can make it stick. At Bahrain, if you look to the left of the screen, there's actually a drag strip on the right side of the track. So it really is a drag race coming out of turn 10. So now around the number 99, we see the number 8. We expect him to get away at this point.
Lap 151.99.
More GT3s just up ahead. Looks like a long way to the front, but it's still a long race as we're only halfway through.
Time 150.21.
Yeah, this is the BMW just up ahead. That is the next car that we're going to be racing with in 11th place. Right now, he's about 8 or 9 seconds ahead. So for a brief moment there, you heard the tire screeching, which is an indicator that they're just about to lose grip. So a moderate turn like that, you'll hear them scrubbing, which is a lower frequency noise. And
That time was a 151.62.
If you push them much further, you will get a screeching sound, and then that is when you will lose grip if you go further. So a very nice characteristic here, or attribute to Le Mans Ultimate. BMW just up ahead, and you can see there that the number 8 had just rounded turn 10, so almost in sight. On board with the BMW, you can see here that he has very light traffic ahead of him, and that is one of the Porsches up ahead, one of the Penske Porsches.
Lap 150.04.
Our fastest lap. We're now at 150.039, and that is faster by about a quarter of a second. And we are going to use that timing as an indicator of how much closer we're getting to the cars up ahead. looking at the number 8 driving through the GTE field. It's very deceiving to think that you can just drive through them when you're rounding them around the track. They're actually just as fast on the braking, turning, and acceleration zones. The only time that you are much faster than they are is on the long straights where you have the top speed and they don't. So you do have to consider them coming in through the turns, again through the braking and acceleration zones. And you can see here that the number 8 has caught up to the BMW in 11th place, less than a second behind. Very wide turn 11, but we do have to get past this GTE car. And there we are. We would have been getting the blue flag. Lap 40 on a 2-hour race in Bahrain. We are driving in the night now. The number 8 in 12th place. We had a full stop to fill with fuel and virtual energy, and then had to come back around for a stop and go. Big bump there from the Ferrari. Coming in through turn 10, we're trying to get closer to the BMW in 11th place, just so we can gauge when we can pass him.
Time 157.14.
So a big mishap there with the BMW, and now we are further behind. And the car is able to continue on without any damage, so we are back to racing. And from the cockpit, damage is indicated obviously by the crumpling of the fenders on the left and right. If not, the steering will be a little bit askew. But at this point, everything's still pretty straight with the car. We're about 4 seconds behind the BMW again.
Pushing out. Front tires are washing out.
Lap 151.10.
So calculating the timing, we're about 3 seconds behind the BMW in 11th place. And the time indicates that when they all changed to +1L, that the leader had crossed the start-finish line. And when the next car crosses the start-finish line, it will show his time behind the leader. So at this point, we are still +1L as we are not crossed the line yet.
Time 150.46.
And now it would have shown that we had crossed the line. So the tires are starting to give way just a little bit. You can see here that we made a change in the pit strategy in case we come in again. So we're going to replace them all with new mediums, just in case we can come in again. Are looking at the HUD studying the fuel. Obviously, we're not going to try to put in 27 extra laps of fuel as it won't fit. However, we may be charged for the time in adding fuel. At this point, if we do come in, we don't have to add fuel right now. So from experience, in order to come in and not add fuel, you need to turn that ratio to 0. Or the amount of fuel that goes in to 0. So again, very close to the BMW now, down the main straight. We are flashing our lights. And we'll see here if we can dive into turn 1. Yes. Is it going to stick? No, the BMW drives off into the grass.
Pass.
A little more on the display on the steering wheel. If you look at the upper left, it says stint with a number in green. That is the number of laps that we have on the stint since we came in for fuel or tires. And they may also be helpful in calculating how much you need to put in, if anything, or which tires to change, if any. Right now on the lower left hand of the screen, the current situation with the fuel, and it shows that we have 27.4 minutes left of driving. However, the timing on the left, upper left, shows that we have 35 minutes left, so we're definitely not going to make it on fuel.
91.95.
So now we're making a calculation here on how much to add. So if we reduce this fuel ratio, that will bring down the number of laps. And then we will have to calculate that into the amount of time that is left in the race. So there is some work to do here while you're driving, and that is why sometimes inexplicably we drive off through a turn. So here we are reducing the fuel ratio to reduce the number of gallons that we are putting in. We're down to 12.2, that's 13 laps. I don't know if we will quite need 13 laps. Now obviously each lap is just about 2 minutes or 1 minute and 50 seconds. So about 35 divided by 2 is 17 gallons is what we need to put in. Now a quick look at our tires. You can see the one that we changed, which is the front left, is down to 77. More importantly, the other tires are down to mid-60s. So we did indicate that we are going to change those. There we are, new mediums, and new mediums all around. Now during practice we were actually able to drive these tires into the 30 and 17% and drive them successfully.
4.78.
However, since we are coming in to add fuel and change tires, we might as well change all of them. And here we are very careful not to touch the pit speed limiter button. Again, to avoid another stop and go. So since our entry into the pits, we are pushed back into 15th place. So hopefully we calculated correctly and we can make it to the end of the race on fuel. The tires we could have probably driven and finished the race with it. However, since we are coming in for fuel, we are going to change them again, just so that we can go faster to finish the race, and hopefully that will turn out to our benefit. Again, dark skies with full lights on now. So we exit the pits. We are in the back of the field with the hypercars. We're not even listed on the standings right now, and there are 19 cars, so we are pretty far back. Nope, we're in 17th place, so there are a couple of cars further back than us. So lap 47 with 29 minutes left to go in the race. And looking at the front of the race, we have Mike Conway in the number 7 Toyota at the head. So he is in first place. Nicolas Lapierre in the Alpine, still challenging in second place. There we are, a lot of traffic, and he makes his way around the number 7. And very close by, Kevin Estra in the Porsche. On board with the number 7, we are looking at the Alpine. He's getting inside the turn 13, and gets around. And true to WEC, you can see there on the side pod of the car, there is one red light, which indicates he is in first. And the Alpine has 2 red lights indicating second place, obviously. The Alpine, a very great sounding powertrain. There we are, cutting underneath the Toyota. Number 36 now in first place. Oh, a big hit in back there by one of the GTEs. So very slow coming out of 1 and 2 for the Alpine, number 36. The number 7 is right there, and that is a Lamborghini. So there we are. The number 7 takes over in the lead. We have a Lamborghini and a Penske Porsche right behind. And this is Kevin Estra racing with the Lamborghini. And it looks like the number 83 cut through the corner back there. Probably to avoid a collision. Having another look at the front of the field from the back of the number 7 Toyota, the Alpine, and one of the Porsches coming through. And there is a yellow car back there. I believe that would be the Ferrari. Oh, big slide there from the Alpine. And he exits turn 10 very wide. Yes, that yellow Ferrari back there is Robert Kubica. And looking at the timing, it looks like some cars may have stopped. The front of the field did get jumbled up a little bit. There we are, the Alpine trying to come through again with the Penske Porsche number 6 getting ahead of the number 7 Toyota. Robert Kubica getting ahead. Is he going to make it stick? I believe there may be some damage to the number 7. He is falling back quite rapidly here. gets a good look at Kevin Estra in the number 6 Porsche. And it's nose to tail, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 5 not too far behind. Back to the number 8 we are. Still in 17th place. Relatively fresh set of tires with 20 minutes to go.
Lap 149.91.
So 36 liters of fuel, that's about 10 gallons, still under 10 gallons. And that's going to be about 10 laps. I think we were up to 0.85 gallons per lap. And that is the number 15 BMW we got around. We were actually racing with him earlier before we made our final pit stop. And we are riding with Kevin Estra, looking at the number 7 Toyota with the number 36 Alpine, as they are going to race again into the corners. And it looks like the Lamborghini and the Ferrari has gotten ahead of the number 6 Porsche just within a couple of turns here. A lot of bumping going on. You can see there was an Alpine. I believe that was the other one that had spun out. And it may have been no, it's not Pierre Guidi. Definitely an Alpine. Rubbing paint now amongst the front runners as we come closer to the end of the race. There should be about 15 minutes left. And right now, coming in through lap 55, looks like the number 7 Toyota is up again and creating space.
Lap 150.47.
accelerate. If you look at the fastest time on the steering wheel, we are now in the 149s. However, with 15 minutes left to go, we are in 16th place. And right now, it's going to take a miracle. Oh, that is the number 36 Alpine coming in to the pits. I believe that is the Porsche of Kevin Estra also coming in, and I think that's a Lamborghini. Yep, it's a Lamborghini coming in, and this may be a splash and go. Very long into the race, I believe they had all gone through 2 full tanks, and now it's just going to be a quick splash and go. So 2 Alpines in. That's another Porsche. Let's see who else is coming in, or who is in. And right now, if you look at the timing, we are coming through the start-finish line in the main straight. We're going to get ahead of all these cars in the pits, getting fuel. The number 8 has moved up to 9th place.
Big bump there. Don't see any damage on the fender. Around on the marbles.
More cars coming into the pits. I believe that is the number 7 Toyota. Yes, it is.
Big check from the S.
So if we can come across the start-finish line, we may be ahead of all these cars in the pits right now. So a big turnaround in fortune right now. We are looking to come across. This is 14
God. Gravel.
and 15, very wide. Just not braking enough. Looking at the timing. We are coming through, and we are now in first place. So we are ahead of the field on lap 57. There would have been no way to indicate that they were all going to come in and add more fuel, or that they were
Missed
low.
everybody coming into the pits. Didn't see that at all. I am up in first place.
Certainly good for our fortune here. 11 minutes left to go. We just need to maintain the car, and obviously maintain our place. We are about 6 seconds ahead of Mike Conway in at number 7. So I think once we came in and changed into this new set of tires, with that splash and go, we were actually making some very fast laps. And I think that is when we got our 149. So that would have helped us get around these cars who had to come in as well. From the back of the number 8, there are no cars behind us. We've got a clear field now, and we just got to finish this race. About 10 minutes left to go.
10 minutes. We gotta consolidate this race. Car's in good shape.
That time was a 151.24.
So the lights on my steering wheel are a stationary green on the first two LEDs on the left. Alright. Pay attention. This half here. We have 6 seconds.
On board with the number 7 of Mike Conway. We are trying to see if we can spot the number 8. And looking at the rear view, there is a set of headlights that just came through at the other end of this straight that we are exiting now. And that should be about 6 seconds.
Lap 152.43.
So timing indicates now that he is 5 seconds behind, so he is catching up. Obviously, he must have changed tires as well as refueled. There he is in the back of the shot.
We should have just enough fuel.
So again, looking at the HUD on the lower left of the screen, you can see we have 4.4 gallons. On the last lap, we used 0.81. And the fuel prediction along with the virtual energy says 5.2 laps now. Still a clear track for the number 8. And this is the number 7 coming into the back of the shot. Now 3.7 seconds behind, so he's gaining about a second a lap.
Time 150.09.
At this point, still very close to call as far as fuel is concerned. Are we going to make it to the end? liters of
place
fuel
car.
left. Using 0.80.
Minutes.
So timing indicates 5 minutes left, so there should be about 2.5 laps.
Lap 149.82.
So
Fastest lap.
This should be just enough fuel. And for some reason we have hit our fastest lap. We should be trying to conserve at this point, but Mike Conway is coming. He is now 3 seconds behind, and we are looking on from this car. That is the number 8 just ahead.
Good shape. Very late on the brakes. The number 7 Scup. Under 4 minutes now.
So from Mike Conway's car, that is the number 8 ahead. Getting to be quite a nail biter. Are we going to make it on fuel? Anything can happen. Can we spin out?
Here's the number 7 has the fastest lap.
Time 149.48.
Lap 62. So Mike Conway did have some damage to his front end. You can see there on the right front fender. Did not get it fixed. Obviously the car must be doing well. And he is getting closer to the number 8, which is just ahead. And hopefully we are running out of time for the race. And if that's the case, the number 8 will win here, miraculously. One minute and 53 seconds left to go.
He may have fresher tires by a couple of laps.
Six liters of fuel.
Time was a 149.
May just be running out of gas.
That's about a gallon and a half or so. Up 1.3 now.
They're going to run out of gas.
the strategy at this point would be to slow down and wait for time to expire with just 34 seconds left. That would mean that the number 7 would get closer and possibly make a pass. So we're going to have to drive on as if we still had fuel. But obviously we're going to run out. I don't think we would be able to make another round. Yep, 1 gallon of fuel. Using 0.8 gallons per lap.
Okay, so we've run out of time.
Very close here.
We don't
Less
get
than-
checkered flag
Less than a gallon
Right
of fuel.
now. We will be out of fuel. Yes.
So there's the
Another
checkered
win.
flag. That was the last lap of the race, and you didn't have to come back around because we would have run out of fuel. So very fortunate for the number 8. Yes, the number 7 did get the fastest lap. Thanks for watching the race at Driving Immersion. It was an absolute nail-biter because of the fuel level. Thankfully, the checkered flag was raised when it was. I don't think we had another lap of fuel in the car. Very difficult to work and adjust the fuel strategy while in the race, let alone have just enough to finish. If you like the race, don't forget to give us a like or a thumbs up and subscribe for more racing ahead.